Hey everyone, Ross McCorkle here with another episode of the Depot 180. Steelers insider Mark Kaboly was talking on 93.7 The Fan and mentioned that it is Tomlin's philosophy to not utilize the middle of the field on offense because it leads to turnovers. It's been no secret that the Steelers have barely utilized the middle of the field over the last several seasons, even dating back to Ben Roethlisberger's last couple of years. That does lend itself to being a Tomlin thing and not a quarterback issue or a coordinator issue, as they have had multiple changes at both in recent years. Other insiders have stated that Arthur Smith has more autonomy than most would expect over the offense, which obviously conflicts with the first statement a bit, though that may have been taken into account when Tomlin was making the hire in the first place. We won't truly know which is the chicken and which is the egg in this equation unless Mike Tomlin gets another franchise quarterback to work with. Does he place limitations on these quarterbacks because there isn't a full level of trust in their abilities, or is it genuinely just a philosophy to avoid the middle of the field? We know for sure they did it in week 1 last season to avoid Jesse Bates with Justin Fields at quarterback. This has led to issues with the run game, which they have been attempting to feature pretty heavily in recent years. They've faced packed boxes constantly. Najee Harris had just 1.9 yards before contact per attempt last year, and that was an improvement over the year prior somehow. Saquon Barkley had double that at 3.8 yards before contact per carry, for comparison. The New York Jets might be interested in Justin Fields, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Fields has reportedly looked at the roster in New York and is at least intrigued by what he saw, and he wants a quote, clear runway to starting a full 17 games next season. If he returns to Pittsburgh, he would likely get that, as I don't see a path towards getting actual starting competition for him. But could the Jets have more to offer in terms of offensive talent? Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Malachi Corley, and Allen Lazard is a pretty intriguing group compared to George Pickens, Jalen Warren, Calvin Austin III, and a bunch of question marks. The Steelers could make some splashes in free agency in the draft to make that much better, but that would come after a QB decision. So there'd have to be some trust there on Fields' side that they will fix last year's lack of weapons in the passing game. Adam Schefter has said that Fields is expected to get interest from a number of teams. That type of interest could drive his price up and push the Steelers back towards Russell Wilson, in theory. It will be interesting to see how that unfolds. Let me know how you enjoyed the video on Twitter at Ross_McCorkle, and as always, visit SteelersDepot.com for your latest and greatest Steelers breaking news and analysis.